friends, this is George coming to you from Kitchen Table Scale Models in the basement annex. It's been a minute since I've posted a video. Number of reasons, which I won't bore you all with. Part of it was what modeling time I get, or what time I can devote to modeling. I've chosen to devote to building rather than shooting videos, and well, this is what I've been building. This is the Revell 68 Hemi-Dart kit. This was built for the USAC, Unified Scale Auto Content Creators Group build, and it is, I guess about 2 weeks late. But here it is, and it's done, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Little things with it, but you know, there always are. And well, the good news is I kind of figured out a few things that I can apply on future models to keep from repeating the same mistakes. But let me tell you about this kit. Again, this is the Revell 68 Hemi-Dart kit. Was built. This is a replica of the actual 68 Hemi-Darts that were limited factory cars. They were built for to homologate the cars for super stock racing, and super stock race they did. And this one is as raced by Shirley Shahan. Shirley is one of the first one of the early female drag racers, and I think I read that she was one of the first, or she was the first female to actually win a national event. I think at the Winter Nationals in some year, I don't know what year. Kit's built pretty much out of the box. I've done a few things to it just to add a little detail. Paint is all Mr. Color lacquer. I think it was metallic blue and their GX white, which is a real stark, bright, dense white. I really like the way it went down on this car. Clear is the Mr. Color Super Clear UV cut. I went with UV cut because I do have white on here and I don't want it to yellow out over time. The interior is shot with the black is actually the Mr. Color Gunzi Sangio black primer. Some things here that aren't out of the well, obviously the decals didn't come with the kit. The decals are from Slick's Decals, and I've always liked the way this car looked, and you know, I wasn't going to build this. I wasn't going to build it for this group build, in part because I just finished a Dart, you know, not all that long ago. I did a 69 big block street machine for the Jason Hanscom street machine group build. So I was going to skip this one this year and do some other things. And then, well, Matt, a.k.a. Lucas C., kind of, well, he double dog dared me, and, you know, you can't turn down a double dog dare. I mean, we all know that. So I said, okay, I'll throw my hat in the ring and I'll do the Dart, but I'm going to do it, you know, I'm going to do something with it the way I want it. Had these decals around. Curiously or coincidentally, I'm also working almost simultaneously on on the 69 AMX super stock that Shirley ran, and I actually have had that one in works for quite some time. I had the decals on it, and you know, I screwed them up. I put the lacquer on, the clear on, a little too heavy, and it attacked the decals. So I learned the lesson on this one, and you know, sprayed it. I figured out how to spray clear coat out of a rattle can. I'm so used to using an airbrush that I kind of was laying it on the way I would with an airbrush, but you know, it was getting a little heavy. In fact, I actually thought that I might have screwed this one up, and was pretty much ready to box it and put it away. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to see if I can salvage it. And I did. I wet sanded the hell out of the first clear coats. And really got them nice and smooth, and then hit them with another application of clear, I guess maybe 3 or 4 light coats, and polished it out with a combination of McGuire polishing compound, rubbing compound, polishing compound, and wax. And yeah, I'm just really kind of pleased with the way it came out. Some modifications to the kit, or some additional parts. The carburetors on the engine, there's some parts there from MCV products. The carburetors came from MCV. I think the stacks came from MCV as well. And the wires did. They were Detail Master wires, and 3D printed distributor and coil. The stacks, I think, were either ProTech or Detail Master, and I used I think those little valve breathers are from a set of ProTech small block Chevy photo etched valve cover tops, for lack of a better word. Master cylinder is also from MCV products. The one in the kit had the big power booster on it. And any photos I saw of this car, it did not have power brakes. It just, they had the regular, dual master cylinder. Interior has a couple little upgrades. I used a shifter from MCV products, and I used Best Model Car Parts instrument panel inserts for the speedometer. All in all, I think this came out pretty darn nice. Really happy with it. Again, there's I'm not even I don't even think I'm an average modeler sometimes, but this one I think I did a pretty decent job with. I aspire to be average, and this one I think filled the bill. Really happy with the way it came out. Let's pull in a little closer. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. We've got. You're not going to be able to see. Yeah, there you can see a little bit on the engine. I'm having a hard time seeing because my glasses are dirty. Can we zoom in on here? This isn't zooming, is it? Wait a minute. Maybe it's zooming. There we go. Look, here's some shots of the engine. One exception to on the 3D parts to my MCV is the little radiator cap. I think that came from Iceman. Wires also came from MCV. They are 0.16 racing spark plug wires. I've always used wire wrap wire for spark plugs, and always thought it looked about right. And it scales out big, but I always thought it looked right, and that the scale size wire itself actually always looked a little thin to me. But this is the first time I used scale size wire, and I'm really happy with the way it worked out. One little kind of oops is I really like those metal stacks. Unfortunately, with those metal stacks sit a lot higher. The metal stacks combined with the 3D printed carburetors sit a lot higher than the stock out of the box setup, and the hood doesn't go on it. Which I thought that's not a big deal anyway, because I'm gonna display it with the hood off anyhow. Interior, so we can get some light in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Hang on. Maybe we can do this. Now, you can kind of see, it's a little dark, but nice little shifter. One thing I did kind of mess up a little bit. If you look at the stripes on the roof, it's not quite symmetrical. You know, it's close, but it's not 100%. But it, you know, it works. Underside. Let's look at the underside. You know, I didn't do a lot of detailing on the underside, but I did do some. The paint on the engine is, I think, MCW Chrysler Hemi Orange, as God intended. Used a mix of Gunzi Sangio metallic colors on the chassis, and I mean on the chassis pieces, you know, suspension and whatnot. I think that's aluminum on the headers. Wheels are the wheels from the kit, which I stripped and hit with, I think these were Revell Chrome. Yeah, so that's it. Fun build. I'm glad I was able to participate. Had some obstacles and some challenges finishing this one. Largely, you know, well, I just had some issues getting this one done, but I finally buckled down and got it done. And I'm on to something else. I've got the AMX out on the desk right now, and I'm working on the table, and going to finish getting the chassis together and do the decals on that. And while I'm working on that, I'm also fooling around with the 36 Ford kit with a chop top resin body, doing a little kind of a mild custom street rod, kind of a old school style. You know, so that's what's going on. I'm still active, still actively building, even though I'm not doing as many YouTubes as I was. I'm not abandoning the YouTube. I'm just kind of a little rearranging priorities. Priority in my hobby time is to build, and not spend a lot of time filming YouTubes and stuff. Although I'll keep up doing it. I'm having fun doing it. I like sharing what I build. You know, I know there's some folks out there that like seeing what I build for some odd reason. So, you know, thanks for watching. If you liked this, please hit the like button. If you didn't like it, you don't need to do anything. If you really liked it, you can tell your friends. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. If you would like to see some photos of this, I'm going to be posting the photos, several photos, including some work in process photos that I haven't already posted. I've been posting them on the Kitchen Table Scale Models Facebook group. If you're not familiar with that group, and you're on Facebook, you might want to go check it out. If you are familiar with it and decided it's not for you, that's okay too. It's a small group, but we have a handful of fairly active members, and who like to share what they do, and it's low key. It is listed as a private group, which allows me to keep it from becoming the drama-filled pit that a number of the other pages have. Nothing against them. It's just, you know, it's people and it's the internet. If you are interested in joining the group, please be reminded that if you do not answer the group questions and agree to the rules, I'm going to hit that delete button. So yeah, so that's it. This is again signing off with the USAC Unified Scale Auto Content Creators Group build for 2025, and you know, on to the next one. Thanks for watching.